Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, this is an interesting one that I want us to talk about. Actually, I wanted us to talk about it for a couple of days now, but unfortunately, I was traveling for business, so we didn't get the opportunity to jump into this one, but we will do so today. But before we do that, I want to make sure that I invite you all to join our Discord. We have close to 100 people in the Discord. It's a fabulous place for you to talk boxing sun up to sundown. And we have features in our Discord that you won't find anywhere else in the sport of boxing. It will be in the comment section pinned to the top. And I also put it in the commentary section or the description section as well. So make sure you guys go check it out. Now, Jay, I do want to dive into this. It was recently announced that Turki Alalshikh is going into business with TKO and Dana White to form a boxing league. It's not, I can't necessarily say it's all that shocking that he's going into boxing or, creating this boxing league. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was rumored to be occurring several weeks ago, if not months ago. And Dana White said that he had no interest in really going into boxing. So that was something that was not true, if I'm not mistaken, Jay. But what's interesting about this, what's interesting about this to me is the fact that, and this is what I'm hearing, that TKO actually has a deal with ESPN, and it feels like they supplanted Top Rank in their position in terms of ESPN in the deal that they had with ESPN. Now, I know a lot of people have forgotten about this, but I'm going to remind people of this. Turki Alalshikh and Riyadh season has deals in place with Top Rank, Matchroom, and Golden Boy, specifically Top Rank, to promote or sponsor several of their fights for 2024 and 2025. Now that he's going into business with Dana White and TKO, the first thing that I thought of, Jay, was that this is in direct conflict with people who are business partners to you. It doesn't really make any sense to me. So what I'm thinking has occurred, and I don't have any evidence of this, but this is what I believe has occurred here, because there's rumors out there now that supposedly Top Rank is going to somehow work with PBC. What I believe is happening, and again, I want to make sure I'm clear on this because I have not spoken to anybody. So I'm not reporting news. I'm just telling you, I'm connecting the dots. What I believe has happened is Turki Alalshikh has basically screwed Top Rank out of their deal with ESPN. Not to say that they were ever going to be able to sign, but they went and signed that deal with ESPN and supplanted them. Now he's going into business to essentially put these promoters out of business. If you have a boxing league that has essentially Dana White acting as the sole promoter, then you don't need Eddie Hearn. You don't need Al Heyman. You don't need Top Rank. You don't need any of these guys. So what he has done, his first step, was to pay all these fighters all this money, more than likely that they didn't deserve, to build a business relationship with them. Primarily the reason why he wanted to bypass anybody that was on their team and go directly to them, to forge that relationship such that he could then bring these individuals over to his quote unquote boxing league, right? And basically, put all of these promoters, basically put them all in the dirt, if you will. I initially thought that maybe he would go and just try to purchase all of these guys. That's the easiest way to do it. Purchase their promotional outfits and bring these entities all together. But that's probably a more expensive endeavor to try to buy all these promotional companies. Supposedly, right? But that's probably more expensive. So it's probably easier and less expensive to simply forge your own boxing league and simply lure those fighters over with lucrative deals. So that's where I'm at with it, Jay. What are your thoughts on this whole situation with Turki Alalshikh?
Yeah, well, I don't like the dealing with Dana White at all because I've seen how some of the stuff what he does UFC with all the fight. People say, "Oh, all the fights do not get paid at UFC." They've been suing. He's been sued because of this.
So can I say something real quick? Supposedly, all the fighters that were involved with Bivol versus Better Beef 2 have not been paid either. But go ahead.
That's Turkey. So I'm like, they try to make it seem like a promoter is not a promoter. All promoters have certain things that they want to do. Most importantly, they all want to make money. That's the bottom line. Promoters want to make money. Now, if you care so much about the fighters, you'd have been on this a long time ago about when all fighters get paid appropriately. When fighters, something like, I will say this. Jake Paul hasn't been in boxing a long time, but he has a good vision as far as like what he wants to do for fighters in their career after boxing. He wants to try to have them on a plan after that, where they're actually getting paid after that and paid them appropriately. See what he's doing with women's boxing. I don't see Dana White doing the same thing. I see Dana White merging with Turkey because they both have the same vision. They just want to control everything. And if you watch the UFC, you see fighters on there. You see a certain amount of fighters that's always in the know on everything. They're not getting paid anything. Then the other fighters aren't even getting a chance to really earn their shot. You know, you see a fighter with 32 losses get a championship fight all over again just because he had a name back in the day. They're not really getting it from the mud. They're recycling the same fighters over and over again. In boxing, right now, yeah, all sports have their issues, but right now you can see fighters working their way up. That's why you have like the fighters and the being prospects. You have a fighter like Abdullah Mason that should be that top rate, should be put more, but you see him being as potentially one of the next big stars in boxing. You don't always see that in UFC. So I mean, I don't like this merger at all, because especially when Dana was pretty much enemy number one of boxing for years. He was enemy number one of boxing. Now all of a sudden, it's a great thing, and he's going to try to take. He saw Turkey, got with Turkey, so they're trying to take over boxing this way. I mean, I don't like monopolies. I like them still having their own thing. Yeah, they had their issues with the different promotional companies with Top Rank, Golden Boy, Queensberry, Matchroom, PBC. They had the issues. That still needs to be ironed out. But I like them being individually like that, so we can have a better product as well. And they're always going to have, everyone's not going to always fight everyone, because they're still going to do the in-house deal. Even if it's under one roof, it's going to be whoever Dana likes. It's going to be who he likes, because he's been the matchmaker. It hasn't been a structure where he's just truly working your way up. He's been the matchmaker for shit. So, nah, I'm not cool with this at all. We got too many belts for sure. Boxing definitely is things that be worked out, but implanting Dana in this, I don't think that's the way to go.
It's very interesting, this whole situation, particularly with these promoters who, and this is just my personal opinion, they were not strategic in how they were thinking about their alliances with Turki Alalshikh. They chased the short and fast money, and chasing short and fast money isn't always good money. And, you know, not to say that PBC has had no dealings with Turki Alalshikh. They have had some dealings, but mostly through just allowing their fighters to fight on the platform a couple of times, and not necessarily doing outright business with the guy. And just, I'm going to be honest with you, based off what I heard, there were some people that were totally against even doing that from a PBC perspective, because you have Al Heyman in charge, and he is strategic in how he moves. And so this is turned around to bite Top Rank, to bite Golden Boy, to bite Matchroom right in their asses, as I figured it would. So they stand to benefit from this. They stand to benefit nothing from this at all. All they're going to do is get put out of business. Now, it is always good to see competition. These guys that are trying to go into boxing have no idea about the business of boxing. They can try to restructure it as much as they want to, but they have no idea about how boxing is actually structured. And it's going to take a while for them to supplant that. So you guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to this. I believe it's an interesting topic. I can't wait to see what happens over the next 18 to 24 months. And if we see any major name boxers defect from these powerhouse promoters and go to this new boxing league, let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast and Sports Media, and we are out.